This is Stu Peters. If you don't know him, he is like a full-blown Hitler-loving neo-Nazi, like self-avowed, the whole 9 yards. Anyway, he's had Kash Patel on many times. And I talked about this in another video, but Stu Peters responded directly to what Kash Patel had to say. Patel is the FBI director appointed by Donald Trump, and he went through his appointment hearings and was asked about his affiliation with Stu Peters, because he's been on his show like 8 times. And Patel denied knowing Stu Peters. Like, I don't know, who is this? Never heard the name before. It's kind of funny. So Stu Peters like tore him down so hard. It was entertaining. Listen to, this is from Stu Peters' show. He played this clip. This is January 30th, 2025.
Mr. Patel, you frequently associated with and sometimes praised extremist figures with well-documented histories of racism, anti-Semitism, conspiracies, and the like.
Confirmation hearing of Kash Patel.
Are you familiar with the Stu Peters? Does that name ring a bell?
Like a deer in the headlights.
I'm sorry, what
are you?
That's what they do that every single time when they're in a confirmation hearing. They don't want to answer the question or they don't know what to say. I'm sorry, what was that? Can you repeat yourself? Count up how many times in the confirmation hearings on either side people say, I'm sorry, what was that? Couldn't hear you. One more time, please.
Familiar with Mr. Stu Peters?
Not off the top of my head.
He made 8 separate appearances on his podcast. He promoted outrageous conspiracy theories and worked with a prominent neo-Nazi.
Dude, he is a neo-Nazi.
They're more Ted Nugent. It goes on, list goes on. I'm just asking, when it comes to your association with individuals, why are so many of them in this category?
I.e., why are so many of your associates Nazis? Okay.
My association, as you loosely define it, is by appearing in media over 1,000 times to take on people who are putting on conspiratorial theories and to devour them of their false impressions and to talk to them about the truth.
Oh, so you completely disagree with Stu Peters, is what you're telling me, and you have only ever gone on his show to debate him on conspiracy theories. Is that what you're saying?
That is something that I will always continue to fight for, Senator. And I certainly don't believe that an individual who was the first minority to serve as the Deputy Director of National Intelligence for this country is a racist.
Pulling out the race card. Kash Patel, of all people. Again, neo-Nazi. Hangs around with neo-Nazis. Is himself a neo-Nazi, in my personal opinion. So now this is Stu Peters' reaction to it.
All right. So clearly Kash Patel's lying.
God, I love this.
Yeah, he absolutely does know who I am, and he's very familiar on a lot of different levels, and I'm not going to get into that right now because
bro, look at the hat. Look at the hat he's got here. Bad Goys, Goys. Tell me the dude is not a Nazi. Nobody uses that term. Nobody. Unless they are either Jewish, which even then, I don't know of anybody. I don't think I've ever heard a Jewish person ever use that term. Either that or neo-Nazis is the only 2 types of people that use the word. A goy, I believe, is a Yiddish word for non-Jewish person, if I'm correct. We have a Jewish person in the chat. Maybe he can tell us. A term used by Jewish people for non-Jewish person. Yep, there you go. That's what it is. So he kind of refers to himself as a bad goy. That's crazy.
And I'm not going to get into that right now because this guy is going through a Senate confirmation hearing. So,
did you know Jesus was a Jew? I mean, I say that as a joke, but you know, in World War II, Hitler's denomination of Christianity, positive Christianity was what he called it. They actually tried to spread the belief that Jesus was not Jewish, for real. I'm not even joking. So there are a lot of people around today that don't even realize that Jesus was Jewish. Anyway, sorry, a little aside there.
A Senate confirmation hearing. So I'm not going to get into too many personal specifics at this point, but that's flagrantly false, what he said there. And I don't want to hear this 6 million D chess stuff about how Kash Patel just has to get through this part of it, and then he just has to get in there and infiltrate so that he can root out all of the rats and the Jews. And
what did I tell you? This is what I'm talking about. The dude's a full-blown Nazi. All the rats and the Jews. Oh my God, bro. Get help.
You know, the globalists. No, that's not what's happening.
This Alex Jones impression. Love it. Globalist, Trotskyite.
happening here. Okay. He's doing what his people do.
His people, being Indians.
It's just inherently in them to lie and be deceitful.
That is a Nazi belief. Inherently in them. Look, there is a disparity between the white community and the black community. Between the white murder rate, the black murder rate. There is a disparity there. There's a difference. Now, why is there a difference between like crime rates between the two communities? It can be one of two things. Either it's the result of, it's like a cultural thing or like a societal thing or whatever that can be fixed. If it's a societal problem, we can do things to improve the communities. We can build colleges that give the black communities an opportunity to get education, try to rise them up out of poverty or whatever else. There's a way to fix it if it's a societal issue. The other option is that it's a genetic issue, that they're just genetically different. And that means you're a Nazi if you believe that. That is a Nazi argument. Straight up Nazi beliefs. So when Stu Peters says this
here, okay, he's doing what his people do.
When he says that, it's him basically saying that they're genetically inferior. He's giving the same reasons to dislike a minority group that Hitler gave for disliking minority groups. He's a neo-Nazi. Now, why did Kash Patel go on his show and have friendly little chats with him 8 different times over the years? Why did Kash Patel help Stu Peters sue people and stuff? Why did they work together? Why do they have each other's phone numbers? It is, of course, because Kash Patel and Stu Peters work together, know each other, hang out.
It's just inherently in them to lie and be deceitful.
Literally words off of Hitler's lips.
And he's lying. He didn't say, yeah, I know Stu Peters. As a matter of fact, I know Stu Peters well enough that my organization that I founded called Fight with Cash, which was designed to protect people against defamation by the media, real defamation, not the ones that Greenblatt is into.
I don't know who that is, but I get the feeling that it was more Nazi.
Real defamation, like at the hands of the Rolling Stone, who made up a story out of whole cloth and then attributed a quote, just blindly wrote this quote out of midair, something that I never ever said before.
Okay, great. Let's talk about it then, Stu. You say the Rolling Stone. All right, let me just wrap up that part real fast, though. The point is that Kash Patel created an organization to help Stu Peters sue people for defamation, for libel, or whatever. They know each other really well, obviously. We have a neo-Nazi in the Department of Justice, or in the FBI. There's a neo-Nazi in the FBI now, leading it. Anyway, about what he said here. The Rolling Stone made up a quote about him.
Cloth, and then attributed a quote, just blindly wrote this quote out of midair, something that I never ever said before, and then published it with quotation marks around it, and then said, Stu Peters said.
Okay, let me show you the evidence that he absolutely did. This is the video that Rolling Stone was referencing when they said, quote, Hitler was a hero. This is what they were talking about. And I don't even know if it was in quotes exactly, but okay, listen to this.
It was war. Horrific things happened. Lots of people died. It was World War II. I don't believe that World War II happened as a result of the Holocaust. I don't believe that that was the reason for the war.
Okay, then you live in a delusion. Well, I guess you could say that the war started so that Hitler could take over Europe, and taking out the Jews was just like the driving motivation behind all of it, I guess. And the only reason the other countries fought against Hitler was because he stepped outside of his country and tried to take other areas. If he had just continued doing that in Germany, nobody would have given a probably. But all right, anyway.
I'm asking a lot of questions about that. People don't like when I ask a lot of questions about.
No, I had questions and I asked them and they were answered. I don't like it that you are rejecting answers that have been proven over and over again. You refuse to accept the answers and you frame your questions as statements.
That Hitler may have been an evil dictator, a ruthless person that murdered millions of people. I don't know, because of the propaganda that surrounds every war.
It's not about propaganda, brother. You can pick up a book and read it and get the answers you're looking for. You know what? If you want, you can go to the archives, the National Archives in Germany or in the United States, and look at the original documents. Look at like the requisition orders for the ovens and stuff. You can find this stuff. It's around and has been around for like 100 years or a little bit less, obviously. You're not finding the answers because you don't want to find the answers. You have an idea in mind and you're doing everything you can to come up with the answer that you want. Now, this part is the one that the Rolling Stone quoted.
Propaganda that surrounds every war. But for this, wasn't he a hero? Wasn't Hitler doing the right thing when he ordered these books to be burned and these places to be stormed by force?
That's pretty, I don't know how he gets around that. You said Hitler was a hero, right? Didn't he say Hitler was a hero just now? How else am I supposed to interpret this? And Kash Patel apparently set up an organization to help him sue the Rolling Stone for quoting him as saying Hitler was a hero. This is like the most dead to rights case of free speech that I've ever seen. I don't know what factors would have to exist for him to win this libel suit. There's no way, right? I don't even know where it is. I don't know where the libel suit is, and it's like in the process, whatever. And then he comes out here and he says things like this.
Yesterday, Newsweek called me a pro-Hitler Nazi. Raw Story called me a pro-Hitler Nazi. I don't know how these people get away. I mean, they said that I was a Holocaust denier, which is completely false.
Yep.
Okay, right. Completely false, totally.
Emphatically false. As a matter of fact, they made up a quote out of whole cloth and said, Stu Peters said, quote, Hitler is a hero. I have never said any such thing.
I don't know how it gets any clearer. That's what he said, right? Am I the idiot here? Anyway, that's Kash Patel's association with Stu Peters. Let's continue listening to him just tear down Kash Patel over denying knowing him. God, he's so petty. I love this to death. I love watching him try to scratch his eyes out like a cat.
I never said it. And we proved that I never said it. And so Fight with Kash came to the aid of Stu Peters and the Stu Peters show because of Kash Patel personally, who personally knew me because of multiple appearances on this program.
Says he proved that he never said it. Okay.
And then we exchanged contact information.
Like, that's not even how it works. I'm sorry. I gotta, just 1 second. You're bringing a lawsuit against these people. They would have to produce evidence to my knowledge, to protect themselves in this case. A defense against defamation is the truth. If you told the truth, then you're safe. They told the truth. They would have to provide the evidence. He doesn't provide evidence that he never said it. That is proving a negative. That's not how it works. Anyway, whatever.
In the Stu Peters show because of Kash Patel personally, who personally knew me because of multiple appearances on this program. And then we exchanged contact information and we directly text via personal cell phones constantly. And we're on the phone with each other as Fight with Kash was hiring a team of
Yes, you're very cool. You both know each other. Wow. You're a big shot for knowing Kash Patel. Super impressive, Stu.
Attorneys to represent Stu Peters and the Stu Peters network against the Rolling Stone. So he absolutely knows who I am. If I go on a show 8 times, I don't care if I've had 10,000 appearances. If I go on a show 8 times, I'm not going to deny knowing the person.
Fair enough.
And like, what could he have said here? Do you have any evidence to suggest that Stu Peters is this neo-Nazi that you're claiming that he is? I mean, what is that even? Can you define neo-Nazi?
Are you really? This is the route he's going. Define neo-Nazi. All right. Somebody that stands for the values that Hitler famously stood for, that the Nazi platform was all about. That's a neo-Nazi. Or somebody that stands for white nationalism. That would be a neo-Nazi. I think it's pretty clear that Stu Peters is a neo-Nazi. If that's not clear enough, give it a second. In another part of this video that he did, he clarifies it for us.
Is that like anti-Semitism or safe and effective or vaccine? Are we just changing the definitions to meet our grandstanding talking points while you're up here doing absolutely nothing because you know that I'm going to get confirmed anyways because Miriam Adelson wants me confirmed?
Okay, yeah, that's a whole different thing. So he thinks that we don't have a definition for the word Nazi, then, is what he's saying. Apparently, it's so ambiguous and amorphous and confusing that a definition for neo-Nazi doesn't even exist. There is no such thing, apparently. How about this, Stu? Here's my definition of neo-Nazi. You and your beliefs. In reality, if they fit the beliefs that Hitler had, then it's neo-Nazi ideology. Racism, the belief that people are superior based solely on their skin color or whatever. Listen to this next part where he's talking about it. Same video.
So Kash Patel is continuing to fight for that. That's why he came on my program 8 times. We're going to do a montage. That's what we need to do. Alex, get a montage together. I know that you can hear me. Get a montage together for the 8 times that Kash Patel was on the Stu Peters show, and so that we can show the public and show all of our viewers exactly how Kash Patel came on to disavow and devalue, my conspiracy theories and all my lies.
And I certainly don't believe that an individual who was the first minority to serve as the deputy director of national intelligence for this country is a racist.
That's so low and disgusting of him to do, but okay.
Yeah, I'm an Indian, so I can't be racist. So
yeah, he has to pull out the diversity card.
Let's check
there.
out.
That's hilarious.
Hold on a second.
He does that because he thinks that it's going to earn him brownie points with the right for showing that he put the left into like an unwinnable situation. Oh no, we can't condemn him as racist because he's the first minority. Blah, 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 blah. No, you're racist. You're a neo-Nazi. Everybody can see that clear as day, and I don't feel backed into a corner at all. The only people that you are making feel anything at all is the far right. People who think you just owned the libs. And it's honestly, truly, deeply disgusting. Anyway, keep listening to Stu here. He lays it out pretty clearly.
A very well-studied young man. How's the relationship between the Indians and the Pakistanis?
So he's drawing out the point that there is racism among Indians. Totally agreed. Yes, absolutely. Because the two countries don't like each other very much.
Yeah, they're so at each other's throats that it's the entire world's been terrified.
But I thought that if you were an Indian, you can't be a racist. You can't have racial prejudice. I mean, and
why did you even ask the guy? It's like he didn't want his opinion on it.
you get it wrong all the time too. Yeah, I'm a white exceptionalist.
You catch that? One more time?
Yeah, I'm a white exceptionalist. I am white, and I think that's exceptional, and I recognize that we are an exceptional race, a superior race of people who has...
Yeah, but you're a ginger, and that knocks you down about 15 points. Sorry, those are the rules. I'm just kidding.
A race of people who has built everything successful that has ever been known to man.
This is Nazi ideology right here. This is Nazi ideology. The belief that white people are superior genetically. They're smarter, they're faster, they're stronger. Just calling out to the Aryan ideology. The Nazis, or like Nazi ideology, is built on the belief that Aryans were a super race of what they called Übermensch, supermen. They were people that were smarter, they had higher IQs, they were stronger, they were faster, they were better at everything, taller and everything. And the only reason that they lost those qualities and looked like everybody else is because Jews intentionally came in and like tainted their bloodline by marrying into the bloodline or whatever. That's the Aryan belief. Stu Peters is laying it out here. I don't know how it gets clear. He's like espousing a belief in Aryan ideology
that has ever been known to man. It wasn't built by Indians. Nobody goes, wow, this is such an amazing and quality innovation. Oh, who did that? Oh, it was the Indians.
They don't? I mean, Indians have done plenty of innovating.
Wow, this is such a great culture, and I really love its history. I really, really love the nostalgia of this place. Well, where is that? Nobody ever says India.
They don't? You know what's particularly funny about this? The word Aryan originated in the Proto-Indo-European region. It was from epic stories written in Sanskrit. It was about Aryan people, which at the time it kind of meant noble. It's so funny to me that he is trashing Indians right now and endorsing like Aryan ideology. The irony is so thick. Aside from that, Indians do plenty. Indians contribute to culture. They have a beautiful society. They have innovations and things like that. Didn't they just like land something on the moon recently? There are a lot of inventions that come out of the United States. And I would venture to say like fewer major inventions have come out of India in the past 100 years. There's a reason for that. It's either a societal thing where they just haven't like encouraged innovation in the same ways or to the same degree that the United States has, or it's genetic. They're either genetically inferior or there's just a societal thing that can be changed. Stu believes they're genetically inferior. That's the hang up here.
Nobody's going, oh, wow, the Indians have done such great things that we need all of them.
What are you even talking about? You think nobody praises Indians for doing good things?
Now we need them to run our federal law enforcement apparatus. We need them to program everything so that they can devalue everything. I mean, all of this just sounds so effing ridiculous. But I digress. There he was.
Jesus Christ, dude. What is wrong with you? Honestly. He's just a straight up disgusting human being, truthfully.
On Capitol Hill, lying and talking about how he doesn't know me.
Boy, that really got to him, didn't it? Now we know how to now we know how to get to Stu Peters. Tell him he's irrelevant. Nobody knows him.
I think that's the play here. I think we need to put the montage together. And, it's probably just wasting our time because at this point, everybody who has an IQ over a ham sandwich understands what's happening with the Trump appointments, that they're not Trump appointments. They're Miriam Adelson appointments.
Yeah, a whole big complicated thing. He seems to be opposed to money in politics to some degree, depending on certain things. And Miriam Adelson definitely donated like a ton of money to Donald Trump, like 100 million or something, right? Sheldon Adelson's wife. Did Sheldon Adelson die? I think he did, and she's got all the money now. Anyway, yeah, I don't like that either. But that doesn't mean by any stretch of the imagination that Stu is right about literally anything else.
They're Benjamin Netanyahu appointments. They are
oh boy, here we go.
They are appointments that will serve the foreign secular homosexual nation state of Israel, the
oh boy,
illegitimate pedophilic nation state of Israel that was arbitrarily drawn on a map on May 14th, 1948, so that we could get these people their own place, so they could get the out of our business and everything that we're doing. Thousands of times they've been expelled from 109 countries, and we have citations for every single one of them.
Oh my God, dude. Get help, seriously. I have lots of criticism for Israel. Lots. But I do it because of how they're treating Palestinians. Stu Peters is criticizing Israel because he f***ing hates Jews. Get help, bro. Anyway, tell me what you think about it in the comments.